Hello everybody. This is a presentation for parents giving some top tips for maths in lower key stage 2. And in this video, we're going to look at supporting your child with multiplication and division. In this video, we will be looking over some of the methods we teach which allow children to multiply and divide. Multiplication. Words we use are multiply, groups of, or repeated addition. Division. We talk about group, share and divide. Let's start looking at some of the multiplication methods. So we begin right back at the start of times tables, thinking about equal groups. So in this picture, you can see that there are 3 equal groups of 4 cubes. There are 3 equal groups of 4. We can look at this as a repeated addition. It's 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 12. We can represent this as a multiplication. 3 groups of 4 is 12. 4 plus 4 plus 4. And this is a really good strategy for helping your child learn their times tables. Think about what it's multiplying by, how many equal groups, and count up in those equal groups. Another method we use is to look at arrays. This is where we use counters laid out in rows and columns to see what multiplication we can represent. So here there are 24 counters. I can see one large group of 24 counters. 1 multiplied by 24 is 24. But I could also see 2 groups of 12. 12 in each group. 2 equal groups of 12. 2 multiplied by 12 is also 24. I can also see 3 groups of 8. 8 plus 8 plus 8. 8, 16, 24. 3 multiplied by 8 is 24. I can also see 4 groups of 6. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 24. I can also think about them as their inverse, because in multiplications you can write the calculations either way round. Once children are more confident with their times table calculations, we'll move on to looking at 2-digit numbers multiplied by a single digit when we're in year 3 and year 4. And we'll start off looking at this using pictures. So each tray here has 24 rolls, and I want to know how many rolls there are in total. So it's 24 plus 24, a repeated addition. But I can also represent this as a multiplication. 20 and another 20. 2 lots of 20 is 40. 4 plus another 4. 2 lots of 4 is 8. 40 plus 8 is 48. 2 lots, 2 times 24 is 48. There are 48 rolls in total. We can represent this as a short multiplication. So we use our tens and ones columns and write 24 in the top, multiplied by 2, making sure we line the 2 into the ones column. 24 multiplied by 2. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. And 2 multiplied by 20, because remember that 2 in the tens represents 20. 2 multiplied by 20 is 40. 24 multiplied by 2 is 48. We can begin to represent using the short method, using our place value charts to support us as well. So in this one, we're going to have a look at 32 multiplied by 3. I'm going to use base 10 to make 32. And I'd like 32 3 times. 32, add 32, add 32. I'm going to begin in the ones column. And if I count up the ones column, I can see I have 6 ones. I can represent this as a short multiplication. 2, add 2, add 2, or 2 times 3 is 6. I have 6 in the ones. And then I'm going to look at the tens column. I have 30 plus 30 plus 30, 3 30s. 3 times 30 is 90. And so I'll add 90 into my short multiplication. 32 multiplied by 3 is 96. I can also represent these using place value counters. So in this calculation, I've got 24 and 24 and 24 and 24. 24 multiplied by 4. Now this time when I multiply my ones, 4 times 4, or 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, I will have 16 ones in my ones column. Can't have all 16 ones in my ones column, so I'll need to exchange 10 of them for a 10. And I'm going to represent that in my short multiplication by writing that 110 underneath the tens column, and the 6 ones that are left into the ones column. And now I'm going to have a look at my tens. 4 ones multiplied by 20, that's 80. But I've got to remember I have another 10 here to add on. So 4 times 20, but 20, 40, 60, 80, plus another 10 here. That gives me 9 tens, 90. So the answer to 24 multiplied by 4 would be 96. Okay, we're now ready to move on to division. The best thing with division is for children to learn their multiplication facts off by heart, as once they know these, they can use the inverse calculation to calculate the division facts. For example, once you know that 3 times 2 is 6, you know that 6 divided by 2 will be 3. However, some children find these quite difficult, so we begin by teaching division as sharing. In this example, Whitney has 16 flowers and she shares them equally between some vases. She's going to share them equally between 2 vases. So she has 16 flowers. We can represent these with counters. She's going to share them between 2 vases. We can represent these with 2 circles or 2 boxes. And then we share out equally the 16 counters into the 2 vases. Each vase has 8 flowers. There will be 2 vases with 8 flowers in each vase. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And we work that out by sharing out equally. When children are more confident, we can look at larger numbers. For example, 60 divided by 3. We might use base 10 to represent our 60, 6 tens. Again, we're going to share these out. We're going to share them into 3 boxes. The important thing is that we are sharing them out equally. Each box has the same amount, 2 tens, 20. In this example, we need to do an exchange because we're going to do 60 divided by 5. So I draw my 5 boxes to share my base 10 into. I can begin sharing out the tens so that each box has 1 10. However, I'm left with 1 10, which at the moment I cannot share between those 5 boxes as it is a 10 stick. However, I could exchange this 10 stick for 10 ones, which means now I can share the 10 out equally into each of the 5 boxes. Each box would get 2 of those ones. 60 divided by 5 is 12. Another way to look at division is as grouping. 6 divided by 3. We've looked at this as sharing. Sharing out into 3 boxes. Each box would get 2. We've looked at that earlier in the video. We're going to have a look at what it means to group. 6 divided by 3 means make groups of 3. How many groups of 3 can be made from 6? I can make 2 groups. 6 divided by 3 is 2. It's the same calculation, it's just a different representation. Let's compare the two methods. Sharing, grouping. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. It's the same calculation with the same answer. In this one, it was asking us how many groups we're sharing between. So this number represents how many groups we are sharing between. We're sharing between 3 groups. This time, it's asking us how many are in each group. There are 3 in each group. We get the same answer. It tells us how many are in each group here. This tells us how many groups we can make. It's really important that children practice sharing and that they practice grouping in year 3 and year 4. Because as the numbers get bigger, sharing becomes a less efficient method. Because if you had to share out 140 counters between 4 children, it would take you a long time. And this is where grouping, as they move further into year 4 and year 5, becomes much more important. Thinking about how many groups we can make. Thank you for your time with this video. I hope it's been useful. We'd really appreciate it if you could please take a few minutes to complete our feedback form. You'll find the link to the feedback form in the description below this video. Thank you.